Today on the channel, a horse is a horse, of course, unless you're Bloodaxe from Spawn and McFarlane Toys.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another McFarlane Toys unboxing and review. And today on the channel from the Spawn line, we got a big deluxe one. We got Bloodaxe, but for all your Bloodaxe needs, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use the link in the description down below. Support the channel and all that fun kind of stuff here. And we don't get a lot of Spawn figures, as you guys do know. It's few and far between, Todd McFarlane. We need more Spawn figures, but Bloodaxe, going back to the Dark Ages, I guess. I think that's what the line was called once upon a time. But I definitely remember Bloodaxe as a kid. I think I had Bloodaxe as well. McFarlane gave us all kinds of stuff with the Spawn universe, the Middle Ages universe of it, and stuff like that, all over the place. And now we get them every once in a while peppered in. And this one, I immediately did not pre-order when it went up for pre-order months ago, but then I went to my local GameStop. I had my $5 credit. If you're a pro member, you get a discount off the normal price. Then I had all my points, and I said, just redeem all the points. The guy at the counter said, do you want to use any points? I said, use them all. Use every point I have in there. I want this as cheap as possible. And that's what I did. I ended up getting it for like $40 or something like that. And then the egg is going to be on my face, is it'll be $40 in like 6 months at GameStop. I'll say, oh, got me again. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens there. But one thing we know what's going to happen for sure is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So we got a big deluxe package here. Part of the digital line, I guess, is this one here. Spawn right there. Of course, Bloodaxe down there looking extra bloody. Maybe. Big window box here. Great for conventions if you want him to sign it, if you run into him on his horse, his steed, if you will. Digital logo there. Cool artwork on the side here. Nothing too fun outside of a QR code over there. Let the light in on the top, as you know. More of that artwork on the backs. And this is, of course, Spawn, the Dark Ages Bloodaxe once again. Not a ton of meat and bones in here, or meat and potatoes either. You get the horse, you get the figure, you get the stand, you get the axe, you get the cards. Pretty much the usual what we get over the years here, but I do have tape on the side I better take care of. There we go. Let's get it all out. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Let me tell you, there's always fuss whenever we're unboxing Todd from the couch, as we know. Off to the side. See you later. Goodbye. Oh, we got these cards. We're getting digital. It's the digital age. Uh-oh, we even got a twist tie in the card. Bold move. Bold move right there. Twist tie in the card. Never seen anything like it. See you later. Goodbye. Can I get this stand out? The McFarlane Digital Last Stand right there. We're going to do it. Bam! Bam! See you later. Goodbye. Frisbee style, of course. See you later. Shuffle off to the side once again. McFarlane Digital Stand. Seen it before. We'll see it again. We do get the digital scratch-off ticket right here. Redemption code. I guess you can put this in your digital wallet. I don't really do that kind of stuff. I don't know. I should. I got all my cards. I should just take a half hour and put them all in there. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. We do get the card for Bloodaxe. What's it say back here? Spawn the Bloodaxe, formerly known as Eric the Bloodaxe. Sure. When he was human, was transformed into something else entirely by the mystical forces of darkness. And watch out for darkness. They're never good. There's never anything good with the darkness, as we do know, unless it's Justin and Dan Hawkins on the darkness over there. Yes, Frankie too. Don't forget Frankie. Yes, Rufus as well on drums. Shout out to the darkness, of course. And there it is, old Bloodaxe looking good in the plastic prison. But I'm going to take this offline, get him out of the package. We'll be back talking all things Bloodaxe. All right, we got Bloodaxe out of the package. Let's dive in, and I guess let's start with the animals first. Animals first is what we're going to do right here. And there's some stuff I like and don't like about this pack right off the bat. We're going to dive into it. We're going to start off with the unnamed horse, I guess, his steed, if you will. But we've seen this mold. Got to get the most out of your mold. We've seen it in the Witcher line. We've seen it with Batman. We've seen it with Jonah Hex. We've seen it with Bloodaxe here now. Got to get the most you can out of these horse molds here. But this one does have a little bit of differences to it, so we're here for that. Now, of course, got to have a saddle over the top. You can't just go bareback, can you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, I do too, Todd. But, most people don't. They put a little bit of protection in between them and the horse. But not Todd and I. We go straight bareback all the time, of course. But looking good here with the saddle. You got the little silver not reins, not Roman reins, that's for sure. But the foot pegs down here, we'll call that. You got that going on. You got the reins up here in the front, and of course, you pull back on that. You got that ready to go like a traditional horse. But then things get a little bit crazy. We got a fiery mane on here. He's fired up, of course, and a fiery tail as well. So a little bit different. There's a little bit of darkness going on with this one. You don't just see horses running around like this with the old fire going on over the top there. You even got some fiery eyes on him, drooping down into those reins and kind of the orange color. Got yellow eyes. Definitely a dangerous looking horse, or a scary looking horse is what we'll call him. And I guess it's kind of a skeleton horse. I don't know. It's not really a skeleton because we know what a skeleton looks like, but it's like he painted on a skeleton. So is it a painted horse? I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this one, long story short, but we do got all kinds of skeleton painted onto the horse against all the black, of course, as well. Now you do get the head back and forth, up and down, not side to side, but just straight up and down. Then you do get some articulation up there at the neck for some side to side, back and forth. And that's it for the head on this one. Now the back tail, you get articulation on that. You can move that around. Nothing in the waist, anything like that. Now the legs do go up and back and forth. You do got a single jointed knee in the middle there. Then you do get the ankles plus the hooves down here. Now there is no peg on this one, or no hole to put in a peg, unfortunately. Everybody loves to peg a horse, as we do know. But I will say one of the things I don't like with this pack is this horse is basically impossible to stand up. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get there. I don't know if I have to heat the legs up a little bit because they're kind of bowed in a little bit. But he is not going to stand on his own. There's no way I can get him moving. I also got some very tight joints on the leg over here where I can't even force it to move. There we go. Had to kind of crack through it, but very, very tight in the leg department on this one. So I guess you just got to find the sweet spot to get him to stand, but it almost feels like he's just kind of a little heavier in one direction. So there we go. You just got to work with it, I guess. But he is a little bit harder to stand than some of the other horses. And a lot of it has to do with his front legs, which are a little too close together. They need to be separated out. Might have to put a spacer in there, like a styrofoam spacer for a while, just slowly, maybe overnight or something, just to kind of ease the plastic out. But it's interesting. It's a horse, and a lot of people looking for articulated horses for other toy lines and stuff. This is a little cheaper way to get there instead of like the Mythic Legions and things like that. So maybe you're into something like this. Maybe you aren't. Who knows? You got to vote with your wallet. You got to choose your own adventure, as we do know. But we got Bloodaxe here now. Who's going to ride this steed? It's going to be him. We're going to start off with his accessory. With a name like Bloodaxe, it's a pretty good idea. He's going to have a big axe as a weapon. It makes sense. It kind of writes itself, Todd. I see what you did there. I mean, he shouldn't have a slingshot, like an old Dennis the Menace slingshot. He's killing squirrels or something off his horse. That's not what a guy like Bloodaxe is going to do. He's going to have a big ornate axe with one side bigger than the other, looking interesting. Dings, dents all over, skulls in there. He's ready to take on the world. And then we do got the brown handle in the middle, and then you got the big mace at the end, just in case that axe stops working. Bash somebody over the head with that one there. A little bit gummy in the weapons, though, I will say that. A little bit gummier than I'd like him to be. But Bloodaxe, of course, having an axe. And now we get down to Bloodaxe himself. A little bit smaller of a character. He's a little bit smaller. Almost reminds me of the McFarlane toys of back in the day in the 90s, because this isn't very big. This doesn't feel 7-inch scale on this one, at least personally here. But definitely looks interesting. Looks like the old school McFarlanes, once again from the 90s, kind of just crazy, wild, Middle Ages, horror inspired, and that's what we got going on here. Screaming and yelling face. Middle Ages, never known for their dentistry work, and he's pulling up all those stereotypes right there with some terrible dental work. Big old teeth going on. Big helmet with a couple of horns, and one of the horns he lost in battle. You got the shawl over the top with some more horns. Very gummy in the horn department. You don't want anybody hurting themselves, I guess. So very gummy horns across the board on him there. He does got a choker chain going on. He's got some long flowing gray hair, so shout out to that. And then he's throwing in some real fur here. Oh my gosh, Mattel, you taking notes? Let's get this real fur on some of these figures here. But looking good with that real fur over the top. You got a skull right there on the top as well. Then he's got a little chain with a pouch just dangling out there. It seems like a lot of work for just a little pouch. Maybe that's just me. And then he does got a little, on the side of his belt here, he's got a little spot for some water. So I don't know, this guy apparently drinks water. He must be living if he needs some water. He does have the Blood Middle Ages title belt here. It looks like, Yep, it's the European Championship. So he comes from Europe, apparently, but he has got that title belt on. You got the sash down there in the front, and he's very Frankenstein-like in his skin tone color, kind of a grayish, greenish, yellowish color, and he's got stitching all over it. So he's been through the battles, he's been through the wars. He's a guy that's seen some things, is what we're going to say about him. He does got some knee pads going on, and he's got one big old boot down here and one smaller boot. So I don't know what's going on. I guess living all those medieval Spawn stereotypes. Of course, medieval Spawn. And I'm still kicking myself on that Kickstarter, Todd. I missed it. I was waiting to the last minute, totally spaced it, missed out on the medieval Spawn Kickstarter. Tough times for me. Tough times for me. If you want me to feel better, you could send me one. Won't hold you to it, though, of course. But looking good down here. Got some spikes around that as well. Articulation, arm does go all the way around. Okay, we get that. Now, a lot of this is covered by all of his clothing, so nothing in the bicep department. We do get a interesting side-to-side elbow, so different articulation style than we traditionally get with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse and stuff, is it's just side-to-side of the elbow, side-to-side of the hands, waist articulation, head back forth, side-to-side. Leg goes up a little bit. We do get single jointed pinned knee there. And then we do get ankles. Nothing on that ankle. Boot cut over here. Nothing on this ankle. So that's kind of wild too. So just a totally different feeling figure on this one. And he does fit on a DC digital stand, which you're going to need to use for him because he's probably not going to stand so well on his own. And of course, putting him on the horse is going to make it a little bit extra hard to get him to stand, as what my gut is telling me right now. But an interesting pack. I think they wanted like $70 for this. That's pretty dang pricey if you ask me. You got to do what I do. Use all your points. Get rid of all those points. Get this way cheaper or wait for an eventual clearance. I just don't know if I'm feeling that $70 price point on this one. It's just not iconic enough of a character for me personally. Maybe it is for you, but for me personally, for that price point, $45, $50, that makes more sense. But even then, I think a lot of people are going to say, I need to play that long game. That being said, I don't think this is going to be made in huge quantities either. This isn't going to be at Target and Walmart. I just don't see that happening. So if you want this, you better play that game and keep close attention to it because you might end up missing it. You never know how it may go. And there is a platinum edition of this as well where I think he's like totally white. I think that's the case. Not going to dive into that unless there's a crazy deal. I just don't feel I need two of these in my collection. But you never know what might happen in the future. But there it is. Spawn, Middle Ages, McFarlane Toys, Bloodaxe, and his steed. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Is this worth the pickup for you? Easy pass, no pass, long game, no game? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. You guys know that by now. YouTube channel membership's also a thing. Check out Pro Wrestling Tees. Check out my book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers. Amazon and Barnes & Noble, the place to get that one. And of course, Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which of course is my podcast each and every Tuesday. Wherever audio podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for another Spawn unboxing, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?